All right, people, Mr. Right here with lesson 33 for trombone. In this lesson, we're going to be covering the G scale. You're going to find that the G scale uses a lot of fourth position to second position, just those two positions, plus sometimes a fifth position, a third. But a lot of it's 4-2, 4-2, a lot of times, especially in the upper register. Another thing that we'll be covering is the use of the trigger. If you don't have a trigger, don't worry about it. You don't have to have one, but especially if you're playing an upper register. But in the lower register, it really, really helps because in the key of G, we have to hit a low B natural. Now, it's in seventh position, but with the trigger, it's like in second and a half position. Like if I come from the very first note here in this lesson, number 1, we've got the low G, and I've got the positions numbered for the ones that are maybe unfamiliar to you, but it starts in low G in fourth position, the second position A, and then we go to the seventh position in B natural. It's not a B flat in first, the B natural's in seventh. Or if you've got a trigger, you can play that out in second and a half. Like I'll play the first 3 notes. That's with the trigger, and it's like in second and a half position. But without the trigger, and you want to use your ear to really listen and tune that position, that note. So especially when you get into the other exercises like 5 and 6, that trigger is going to be so helpful if you've got one. If you can't, don't worry about it. But let's start off with number 1. As I said, we've got a G in fourth position to second position, and I'm going to use my trigger to play that B natural in second. Then I can play, the neat thing is you can play a C in first position with the trigger. Depending on how you tune your tuning slide, if you tune your low F, like if you got that note in tune, you'll have to drop the slide just a little bit to get a C in tune. But let's do number 1. I've got my metronome set for 90 beats per minute. 1, 2, 1 and half notes, re. Then number 2, same thing in quarter notes, and 1, 2, 3. Then number 3, we play the same thing in eighth notes. I'm going to slow it down to 80 beats per minute. And you want to be very careful on these next few exercises to play them nice and slow, to really listen and tune up each one of these slide positions to where you're playing these pitches right in tune. So here's number 3 at 80 beats per minute. 1, 2, and re. Then number 4, we just explore the high register, and notice when we hit this arpeggio, all of these notes under this long, see this 4 with a long dash of line right here, that's all these notes are in fourth position. So like I was saying, the key of G, it's a lot of fourth position. So here we go, number 4. 1, 2, 3. Now we can play that D in first position or fourth position, right? I'll play it in first position so I can tune it up a little bit better. 1, 2, 3. Then number 5, again, super important to play this slowly so that you can get each one of these positions in tune. 1, 2, 3. You saw me making a quick adjustment because I need to get that 4th position G, low G, a little bit lower to get in tune. And then when we get to number 6, this one you can slow down even more just because these positions right there, especially if you're doing this without a trigger, the F attachment, it's going to be super difficult to play this fast. And what the trigger does is just like when you pop that down, it's like going to 6th position, like from a B flat to a C, like that, or a B natural in 2nd and a half, as I said. So here comes number 6, G, A, B, G, A, B natural, C. So here it is at 80 beats per minute. 1 and 1, 2, 3. And I would play it when you're practicing this. About that tempo, especially the first 2 measures of it and the last measure and a half, because that's where the tricky stuff is. Now, if you're playing it without a trigger, so it's a stretch. You're moving fast, so it's kind of difficult to play that quickly without a trigger. Then number 7, and also let me say this. If you're having a hard time you want to record yourself playing these exercises and listen to it, because I'm sure I was a little bit out of tune on some of these notes, especially down in the lower register. But if you record yourself and listen to it, you can hear where you're not quite on the pitch, and there's nothing wrong with slowing it down. And if you are having pitch problems, then you want to go back to number 5. It's kind of like number 6 in slow motion in a way. So, but here we go with number 7. We're playing an exercise here in thirds, and I'm just going to play this nice and slow without the metronome, just to make sure I get each one of these notes, each one of these pitches right in tune. But here's number 7. You want to make sure you tongue the beginning of each note. If you just blow air, it might just go fwa. So you don't want to do that. Make sure you're not lazy with the tongue. 1 and 2, number 7. There we go. Yeah, and then you slowly can pick up the tempo from there. So here comes number 8. 1, 2, 3. Then number 9, which is a little tune I wrote. Let's put this at about 98. And 1, 2, 3. So that's all of lesson 33 for trombone.